Welcome to Podcasts, recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at csoportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcast, you can donate online at csoportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
The Friends Band. We're giving everyone a few extra minutes this morning it's cold out there. I think everyone's moving a little slow. Maybe some people are staying home and watching us from the comfort and warmth of their own home. All right, well, good morning, everybody. Let's all stand as you are able, and we'll sing our opening song, One Life. There is only one life. There is only one life. There is only God's life. And this life is my life now. This life is my life now. My life now. There is only one life. There is only God's life. This life is your life. This life is your life now. This life is your life now. Your life now. There is only one life. There is only God's life. This life is our life. This life is our life now. This life is our life now. Our life now. Our life. There is only one life. Our life now. There is only one life. Our life now.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Bridget McCann. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the Senior Minister and Spiritual Director here at Portland Center for Spiritual Living. If you are here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to have all of you who have been here for many years and all of those who may have just walked in the door for the first time today, or maybe joining us in our virtual community space for the first time. Welcome to you as well. So this is January. We're in Back to Basics. So it's a great time to be here to remember what those foundational principles are that we are based in here as a Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach the science of mind as our spiritual philosophy that informs our lives to lift them up and to lift up all humanity and our world. That's what we're about here. So today's topic is heaven and hell. We're going to clear it up. Okay? We're going to clear all that up. We already cleared up what God is and isn't, and that there's no sin, there's no evil force in the world. So today we're going to clear up this whole mess that has become false beliefs about heaven and hell. But before we do that, I'm going to turn it over to our licensed practitioner, Nancy Ashley, to share some announcements and then set our sacred container with prayer. Thank you, Nancy.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Ashley, licensed practitioner here. My pronouns are she and her. And it is my honor to serve you today, to be with you. A special welcome to anyone, as Reverend Bridget just mentioned. If you are new to the congregation today, hopefully you got a welcome packet that are up by the front door. If you're on the virtual community, all of that information is online. Our website is amazing. CSLportland.org. And so in the program here, you'll get information about who we are, what we stand for, how we might serve you, and all of this information is on the website. If you'd like, you can ask questions of our minister, Reverend Bridget, in person after the service, or email her through a website link on the website. On the website, you can also sign up for weekly emails that detail our events, register for classes, and even get a free gift on your birthday, which is very nice. It's a free practitioner session. And you don't, I've seen people stick them in like they're collecting 52 cards. No, when you get a card, use it. Just a quick reminder to silence your cell phones if you haven't already, or other devices. So as we move in, we've got a lot of announcements. There are a lot of things in your program, and I'm going to just go through them very quickly. The first thing you might notice is that the community visioning says that it's going to be held on January 13th. Well, that is now going to be on February 10th. And this is for the sanctuary beautification as we take a look at everything and start painting and new carpets and all. On January 27th, we have community visioning for the youth program to try to expand that and make it the best possible. February 2nd, we also have the teen soup and salad lunch, which is a fundraiser for the teen camp program. And there's a sign up in the back that you can sign up for that. There's also a movie which I just watched recently that's called Backs Against the Wall, the Howard Thurman story. And this is on February 16th. All of these are in your program with a potluck with the movie to follow. And Howard Thurman, this is in honor of Black History Month. And also we have a special program that's going to be going on as part of that is nonviolence as a spiritual path, and there will be 4 weeks of groups once a week, February 23rd through March 22nd, and you can do this in your home with people coming in. You can do it online, or you can do it at the center. So whatever works for you, we'd love to have you participate. And we're looking for volunteers to facilitate, but then also to just plan on being part of that nonviolence as a spiritual path. So we've got a lot of things going on. We're in the middle of some wonderful classes right now. I've heard people talking about them, both the foundations and the, what is yours, Kate?
Treatment and meditation.
Treatment and meditation. So if you've missed them, then stay tuned for the next batch in March. And they're always wonderful. So licensed practitioners today, Nadine Moeller is in the sanctuary here, and Sandy Leibold is on High Watch on the virtual community. So holding a sacred container of consciousness in the sanctuary and for our spiritual community participating virtually. Thank you, Nadine and Sandy. Our music, of course, is our wonderful Lauri Jones, who is our music director, and our friends band, always good. As Reverend Bridget mentioned, the topic today is heaven, no hell. So you can tell people to go to heaven if you want, but yeah. Okay. And I just want to say that the website has everything. All of these flyers and all that were in your program, everything is on the website. It's so complete. Please, cslportland.org, and you'll find amazing information. Flowers today are by Marcia Hudson, who is in the back there. Thank you, Marcia. And I think with that, we can invite you to sit back and relax, because we know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
So just breathing into this space. Closing your eyes or casting downward. Allowing the love to come pouring through, the love of God, the love in this sacred community. Letting it all be. Let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be. Let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be. Oh, let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be.
We know that God is. God is everywhere. God is in, through, and as everything, everywhere. And as we say, let God be God in me, it's mainly recognizing that power, that presence, the love, the wisdom, the unity, the peace, knowing that all of these qualities are available everywhere, that we need only tap into them, to express them, to feel them in ourselves, to know that I am peace, that I am a piece of God, that I am a part of that universal love. And as we focus on nonviolence and Black History Month and all of the other beautiful qualities that are coming up in the next few weeks, we know that we are the unity, that we are the ones that are being heaven on earth, that we are living heaven on earth because that's available to us and we can choose it. And so knowing that I am an expression of all of these qualities, I know that that's true for every person here and that every person in the sound of my voice, that we are all beings of the one, and we have access to the love, to the peace, to the wisdom, the unity. It is all available always. We need only claim it, affirm it, know it for ourselves. And so I claim for this service today that we are brought closer to the idea that heaven is within us. It is always available, that it is the love and peace of God, and it is in us right here, right now. And so just giving thanks for knowing this truth, for being able to be in a sanctuary like this or online and hear these pieces of wisdom reiterated week after week, to know the truth of our being. I am so grateful to be part of this community, to be part of the message that God is love, that heaven is within us. It is so empowering, and I release my word into the action and activity of the law, knowing that it's already done, based on our belief, on our knowing the truth. The law says yes, and so I release it, I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. And as we go into the few moments of silence, I just invite us to think about what is it that's in my heart right now, and is it bringing me closer to heaven today?
So long ago, there was a samurai warrior. He was a very good samurai, which meant that he caused a great deal of suffering and grief for a lot of people. And after years of this, he became quite concerned with the state of his soul. He started thinking a lot about heaven and hell. And so he decided that he needed to learn more about heaven and hell. And he heard there was a great teacher that lived far away on a mountain. And he determined to find this teacher and to ask this teacher, please teach me about heaven and hell. So he set out walking, and after many days of walking, he finally arrived at the doorstep, and he knocks on the door, and this small elderly woman answers, and upon seeing a stranger, she says, "Who are you, and what can I do for you?" Well, he tells her, "I'm a samurai, I've caused lots of suffering. I'm worried for my soul. Will you please teach me about heaven and hell?" And the woman immediately gets this disgusted look on her face. She's like, "What? Me? Teach you? You're dirty, you stink, you're disgusting, you repulse me. I will never teach you." So the samurai, enraged, grabs his sword, and just as he's at the top of his swing, the woman says, "That is hell." So the samurai drops his sword, and he's overcome with feelings of gratitude and peace. He feels seen. He feels heard. He knows that he matters. And with tears streaming down his face, he says to the woman, "You risked your life to teach me." And she says, "And that is heaven." Heaven and hell are not places, locations that we go to upon our death. They have everything to do with the state of our being and our consciousness here, now, in our hearts and minds. And that's what we want to clear up today. These ideas of heaven and hell, and that heaven is indeed within us. So first, there is no hell. Just as I've said so far this month, there is no sin with a capital S, there is no evil with a capital E, as in an evil force in the world, and there is no hell, a place that God assigns us to upon our death for having sinned, or according to some religions, because we did not accept a particular persona as our personal Lord and Savior. Much of these ideas come to us, at least those of us who come from Christian backgrounds and Islamic backgrounds too, come from the idea of Judgment Day, which in the Christian Bible is found in the book of Revelations. This idea that there will be a second coming of Christ, and at that time, those of us who are fit and good and perfect people will be saved, and many, many more of us will not be saved. And somehow we will live out all eternity in a suffering, fiery place. Well, I want to clear up what we teach here is a Center for Spiritual Living and in this principle of science of mind. Like I already said, there is no hell, because, as we've already covered, God is love and loving. We can never be outside God's love. And there is no sin but a mistake. And like any loving parent, as all of you who are parents and guardians know, you don't condemn your child to suffering merely because they have made mistakes. That's not what God does. And this whole concept that in the book of Revelations, let's clear up what that book is about. It is not about the end times, the second coming of Christ and the end of the world and humanity. It is not about that whatsoever. It's actually all about the end times for the Roman Empire and Caesar Nero. The book is largely the letters from John to 7 Christian communities, which means that these Christian communities would have read these letters to their congregations when they came together to meet. They needed hope in that day. What they needed to know is that eventually the Roman Empire would fall and that eventually Caesar Nero would no longer be in power. Because the people of that time were treated as second-class citizens in the Roman Empire. So many of these people that John was writing to had very difficult lives as subjects of the Roman Empire, and they needed to know that they would be saved someday from that. 666 is actually code language for Caesar, and this was all understood at that time because you weren't allowed to speak out against the emperor, so you had to use code language. And that's what 666 was. The city on the 7 hills, everybody knew at that time that that was Rome. So the book of Revelations was all about being saved from a tyrant in that day. It has nothing to do with our end times. So now, having cleared up that there is no place, hell, that we're going to go to someday, we actually have a definition of hell in Science of Mind, and it is a discordant state of being, a belief in duality, a sense of separation from God, a belief that our good is always to be and never is. Hell is not a location. So hell is an experience within, but here's the thing, it's an experience and condition that does not have to be. To the extent we're experiencing hell in our hearts and minds, we can change it. As we discussed last week, we can use our ability to create. We can use the power of affirmative prayer to change our beliefs about ourselves and our world and about God to create a better life. We don't have to experience hell in our hearts and mind. We can change it and experience more heaven within. Tomorrow, we celebrate Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so I got to wondering, what did this great teacher have to say about heaven and hell? This man who is steeped in the teachings of Jesus. He wrote in a letter to a friend, "I do not believe in hell as a place of a literal burning fire. Hell to me is a condition of being out of fellowship with God. It is man's refusal to accept the grace of God. It is the state in which the individual continues to experience the frustrations, contradictions, and agonies of earthly life. Hell is as real as absolute loneliness and isolation." So that's Dr. King's perspective on hell. So what is heaven? He goes on to write in this letter, "On the other hand, heaven is a state in which man finds himself in eternal fellowship with God. It is a release from the trials and tribulations of life. Heaven is as real as friendship and an idea." And in the Science of Mind, we define heaven as a state of happiness. Heaven is within. It is the real state of being. If we abide in the Spirit and it abides in us, in harmony, in power, in peace, and our thought is friendly, happy, and confident, our kingdom of heaven is a good place in which to live. So heaven is the ultimate reality, not hell. Just as we've said throughout this month, darkness is not a thing in and of itself. It is the absence of light. Sin or evil is not a thing in and of itself. It is the absence of good. Hell is not a thing in and of itself. It is the absence of a heavenly consciousness.
How
You know, in Hinduism, they have this idea in the Upanishads of Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. You often see it as one word, but it's actually 3 Sanskrit words that mean truth, consciousness, and bliss. It's shorthand for the heavenly consciousness, the bliss consciousness. And that bliss consciousness we experience when we know and feel that unity and wholeness of everything. When we feel that oneness with Brahman, with the Godhead, right? And that this bliss consciousness is the ultimate goal of yoga, of real yoga, not hot yoga or whatever it is that we have around here. But the real yoga path is about that, is attaining that consciousness all the time while we're still here on earth. And so if heaven is not a place either that we go to, then what about those experiences of some people, their near-death experiences? They come back and they speak of this incredible, beautiful, bright light and this absolute, almost overwhelming, unconditional love that they feel. Is that a place? From our Declaration of Principles, we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. So what that means is when we make that great transition and we drop this physical body, we are in a state of pure consciousness. And when we are in a state of pure consciousness, of course, that is that bliss consciousness. We've dropped this body and all the hard experiences that come with it, and we are in a heavenly state, a heavenly consciousness, more than an actual physical place. You know, we hear all the time how more and more people are moving away from more traditional religions, that attendance at all of our churches is down, and whatever faith path it is. We hear this all the time, right? People are turning away from it. And yet, the same polls show that people are still very spiritual. I actually find hope in this. Because what it means is we, in the collective human experience, are dropping those false beliefs, and we're much more interested in the truth. So we're dropping that belief, we're leaving behind that belief in hell and damnation, and moving closer and closer to knowing the ultimate truth about ourselves, our world, about creation, and about God. So how do we attain this heaven within? If it's not a place we go to, but it's within, how do we get there? Again, from our Declaration of Principles, we believe that heaven is within and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. Sounds simple enough. Become conscious of it, which means we're at choice. We can choose to cultivate this. We can choose to give ourselves this great gift of this heavenly awareness, this inner happiness. And why is it important that we do this? Because the more we commune with that inner heaven, the more we have an antidote to the fear and anxiety we experience as we interact with the world that is sometimes harsh. It gives us that inner peace, that inner knowing, and it makes it just a little easier to be in the world. Jesus, one of our great teachers, taught to his disciples two things that are very relevant here. First, he also taught like many great teachers, that heaven is within. But he also told them, you know, when you're building your treasure, don't build it. He said, don't bury your treasure in the earth. And by that, what he meant was don't put it in the ground. Don't put it in the earthly world where it can corrode and erode and even be stolen from us. No, lay up your treasure in heaven, which means build your treasure in here. Build your inner knowing and your inner consciousness, because this, what's in here, cannot be corroded, cannot be taken from us. This doesn't mean that we can't experience joy and beauty and peace in the world. What it means is that if we know our inner heaven, if we have that, then we're able to recognize and participate in beauty and joy and peace. But if our inner experience in our hearts and minds is pretty hellish, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to recognize and participate in the joy and peace and beauty in the world. And to the extent that we might accidentally trip upon it, it's fleeting, it's impermanent. But if we have that inner knowing, it's much more lasting. I bet every one of us knows somebody who appears to be very successful when it comes to material aspect of life, and they're absolutely miserable. Right? They got the house and the cars and the vacations. They got it all, and they're miserable. And I would posit that that's because they don't take time to experience their inner heaven, or to remove the blocks, the healing work and the forgiveness work that would remove the blocks to experiencing that. So, practices to cultivate this inner awareness of heaven within. Regular meditation and mindfulness practice, and I highly recommend occasional meditation retreats, which is one of my great dreams to bring here to this community. Occasional meditation retreats. I would love for us to experience that together. Prayer. Not prayer with an agenda, not prayer trying to get something. That is good and right, and yes, use prayer in that way. And once in a while, use prayer that's all about just communing with the divine, recognizing the divine and knowing your oneness with it, the first 2 steps of prayer, and then just bask in that. Chanting. There's a reason some of the more traditional orders chant in community, and we're actually going to do a little bit of that in a few moments. Forgiveness and gratitude, 2 of our spiritual superpowers that remind us of our inner heaven. And of course, many of us experience this inner heaven in moments of solitude. These are things that we can all do. This becoming consciously aware of the inner heaven, we all have the ability to become still and know. Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman was raised in Orlando, Florida during the days of Jim Crow. So he experienced a lot of harshness of life, and yet even as a child, he had this ability to find his inner heaven. He wrote, "As a child, I was accustomed to spend many hours alone in my rowboat, fishing along the river when there was no sound save the lapping of the waves against the boat. These were times when it seemed as if the earth and river and the sky and I were one beat of the same pulse. It was a time of watching and waiting for what I did not know, yet I always knew. There would come a moment when beyond the single pulse beat there was a sense of presence which seemed always to speak to me. My response to the sense of presence always had the quality of personal communion. There was no voice, there was no image, there was no vision. There was God." We, all people, can have that personal communion with the indwelling presence. We can put aside our fears of hell, which is not real, and know that which is real, the heaven within. Thank you. So, we are going to chant together as our prayer today. Some of you may know this already, but there's actually a Science of Mind chant that goes like this. It's actually the basis of the song that we sing as a community at the beginning of each service this month. It goes like this. It has 4 lines. I'm sure you'll catch on very quickly. It's, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. So let's say it together once, and then we'll start chanting. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. So what I encourage you to do, if it's comfortable for you, is to close your eyes or soften the gaze, and then go within. Go within, kind of withdraw within, and try to feel these words and feel the truth of these words as we say them together. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now we get to experience sacred giving. A time when we share from those heavenly financial gifts that we have in our lives, to share them with our community. That makes everything we do here possible. This space, our virtual space, our music ministry, our youth ministry, everything we do, our classes, everything is possible because we choose to share our gifts. In a moment, our ushers will come forward and they will pass a basket to collect your gifts. If you like, there's an envelope in the seat back that you can use. You can also make a gift online at cslportland.org, which of course is available at any time. And we invite our virtual community to also participate in this time of sacred giving. Will our ushers please come forward? And let us accept and bless our offering as call and response. I bless these sacred gifts.
I bless these sacred gifts.
Given graciously with love.
Given graciously with love.
These gifts bless, heal, and prosper.
These gifts bless, heal, and prosper.
All that they touch.
All that they touch.
In giving, I am grateful.
In giving, I am grateful.
To be richly, lavishly, and abundantly blessed. And so it is.
I can still feel the reverberation from that chant. When you just keep repeating it like that, you just feel the vibration. Did you feel that? And so it just brings you right into now. And so that's what this song is about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, keep track. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, yeah, living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can feel the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the ones who'll always remind me to live in the moment, to live my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can't walk through life facing backwards. I have tried more than once to just make sure, and I was denied the future I'd been searching for. I spun around and heard no more. Yeah, living in the moment, oh, living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Living in the moment, living in the moment. I'm living my life, just taking it easy, with peace in my mind, ooh, peace in my heart, got peace in my soul.
So again, we're recruiting hosts for our small groups. You get to choose the day of the week, the time, and the location. If you're interested, you can sign up in the back or online. The deadline to sign up as a host is going to be next Sunday, and we still need a few. So if you're willing and able, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And as Nancy mentioned, the sanctuary beautification visioning that was supposed to happen this past Monday, we had a technical glitch with our Zoom link, so we rescheduled that for February 10th. But the youth one is still happening a week from tomorrow. All right. So, if you are going through any challenge or difficulty and we'd like to be lifted up in prayer, we have prayer available for you with our licensed practitioners. For those individuals in the sanctuary, you can come up front here and have a prayer with one of our practitioners at the end of the service. You can also fill out a prayer request at the table in the back. For those individuals joining us virtually, you can meet with the licensed practitioner in our Zoom prayer room. And that room will be open immediately after service. It will stay open for as long as needed to accommodate everyone looking for prayer. And I believe the link is being posted in Facebook comment section. Just click on the link and that will take you to our Zoom prayer room. And for everybody, you can submit a prayer request at any time online at cslportland.org. All prayer requests are forwarded to our licensed practitioners and ministers, and it is our honor to hold you in prayer throughout the week. So now I invite you to stand as you are able for our benediction, call, and response. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
And life is in my affairs.
Life is in my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
Just the way that I am.
Just the way that I am.
And just the way I am not.
And just the way I am not.
So know with me that you are never alone, that that divine presence is always within you. So if any time you forget that, just go within and feel that indwelling presence and know you are loved. And so it is.
And so it is.
All right? Please sing along with our
Closing
closing community song.
I release.
I release.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Our inspirational service is at 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our podcast listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.